Hey, Creepshow fans! Welcome back to another spine-tingling episode where we delve into the dark and shocking secrets lurking behind the ivy-covered walls of prestigious institutions. Today, we're counting down the top 10 most shocking college scandals that rocked the academic world and left a lasting stain on the reputations of these renowned schools. From racist frat videos to massive cheating rings, these stories will make you question everything you thought you knew about college life. So grab your popcorn, sit back, and let's uncover these jaw-dropping tales. Number 10. Syracuse University, extremely racist, fraternity video. There is a high probability that any kind of prejudice in any kind of social institution will produce a commotion. The prejudice is elevated to the level of a scandal when it is racist, homophobic, sexist, and anti-Semitic against Jews. When a racist film involving members of a fraternity was uploaded to the internet in 2018, this was exactly the thing that happened. At Syracuse University, which is located in New York, the tape generated demonstrations, which ultimately led to the suspension of about 15 members of the fraternity. One can observe a man kneeling in the video when it is played. Concurrently, another individual was seen holding a bottle around his groin region, which was most likely a representation of his genitals. As the video proceeds, the man who is standing requests the person who is kneeling to narrate the oath, which is discriminatory in and of itself. The tape that was obtained by the university's newspaper, the Daily Orange, was uploaded to the internet, much to the distress of a great number of individuals all over the world. There were a lot of people who saw it. Many people have a negative impression of the school as a result of the controversy, despite the fact that the school has suspended around 15 members of the fraternity and acknowledged that there is more that can be done to address discrimination inside the institution. To put it another way, that was the 6th suspension at the university that was tied to race in the past 3 years. Number 9. Atlanta students. Massive cheating scandal. Approximately 200 teachers in Atlanta were accused of engaging in systematic cheating, which led to the scandal being referred to as one of the biggest university cheating scandals. The syndicate was responsible for altering the answers that students provided on the state's standardized examinations in order to change their scores. The revelation of this incident came as a shock to many people because Atlanta is widely recognized as one of the districts that is at the forefront of efforts to discourage students from cheating. In order to fabricate test scores, the educators were accused of engaging in a conspiracy to erase the incorrect responses provided by the pupils and replace them with the correct responses. Daniel Koretz, the author of the testing charade, explained that the instructor's aim was extremely high, particularly due to the fact that Atlanta was renowned as an underachieving district. With the amount of pressure they were under, the teachers were aware that they would not be able to fulfill the high targets through lawful means, which led to widespread and blatant cheating. Number 8. Duke lacrosse players' sexual assault charges. After an event that occurred in 2006 involving Duke lacrosse players, the school's reputation was tarnished all over the world. During the 2000s, it became known as one of the most significant college scandals. On the evening of March 13, 2006, the Duke lacrosse team hosted a party at a residence located off campus. In order to provide entertainment for the event, they hired 2 naked strippers. The following day, one of the dancers, Crystal Mangum, submitted a report with the police in Durham, North Carolina, claiming that 3 Duke lacrosse players had raped her after forcing her into the bathroom. Mangum's allegations were made in the report. As a result of the fact that the girl who was reportedly raped was of color and the 3 males who were accused were white, the case immediately became a hate crime, which further escalated the issue. In the course of the investigation, DNA samples were gathered from every member of the team. After a few months, the results came back negative, and the suspects were found not guilty of any charges. Despite this, the names of the school and the boys had already been dragged through the mud for an excessively lengthy period of time. Number 7. Contract cheating. The existence of cheating in higher education is something that a lot of people are aware of, particularly those who have been through the system themselves. On the other hand, a lot of people are unaware of the lengths that certain students are ready to go to in order to achieve those high marks. During the course of an investigation, CBS News discovered a college cheating scam that was referred to as contract cheating. During this time period, college students hired individuals from other countries to assist them with their academic assignments. In spite of the fact that it is forbidden in approximately 17 states, cheating in academic endeavors and examinations is not a crime punishable by death, and the regulation is rarely enforced. This is a subject that neither the students who are cheating nor the people who are helping them are willing to talk about. People entrust them with the responsibility of guiding the world forward in their particular disciplines, and it is one of the key causes that contributes to the phenomenon of college graduates who are not fully developed. Number 6. Remote learning lawsuits resulting from campus closures. It is not very frequently that you come across a litigation that involves learning through remote means. As a result of the abrupt epidemic that occurred in the year 2020, a great number of educational institutions, including colleges and universities, were shut down indefinitely. All of the students were compelled to return home and remain there. After some time had passed, these educational establishments began providing services for remote learning in order to save time and make room for additional students who were enrolling. As a result of the closure of more than 4,200 educational institutions, which had an impact on more than 26 million students, the implementation of remote learning was certain to result in friction. There were hundreds of students and parents who filed lawsuits against institutions when they charged them full tuition costs, despite the fact that they were not receiving the on-campus experience and guidance that they had anticipated receiving. A number of prestigious educational institutions, including the University of Miami, Cornell University, Pennsylvania State University, and New York University, were among those that were affected by these litigation. Number 5. Columbia University's student worker strike. In the year 2021, over 3,000 student workers at Columbia University took to the streets in order to demonstrate against what they referred to as unfair labor practices. For college students, the strike was widely regarded as one of the most significant they had ever experienced. Although it is true that strikes on college campuses are not uncommon, the circumstances surrounding this specific strike made it a scandalous event. According to one of the representatives of the students, Columbia University was one of the wealthiest universities in the country and paid the highest tuition rates, but it did not compensate its students in accordance with their academic performance. Despite the fact that the institution produced a proposal in response to the strike, which suggested wage hikes, the creation of health care funds for student workers, and an increase in the stipends, the students still thought that the offer was not sufficient. Students expressed their dissatisfaction with the rising prices of living in New York, the low incomes, and the underrepresentation of ethnic groups in the city. Number 4. Baylor University basketball scandal. At the beginning of the 21st century, the National Collegiate Athletic Association, NCAA, conducted an investigation into the basketball program at Baylor University and reprimanded the university for a number of violations. The murder of Patrick Dennehy was the most prominent of the incidents that involved instances of illicit payments being made to players. While Carlton Dotson and Patrick, a member of the same team, were shooting in a gravel pit on June 12, 2003, Patrick was fatally shot by Carlton Dotson. The family of Patrick filed a missing persons report with the authorities after he had been missing for a week. The culprit eventually turned himself in, but not before the family filed the report. Dotson testified before the FBI investigators that he was attempting to defend himself when his teammate was killed. This was his defensive mechanism. As a result of these murder trials and subsequent investigations conducted by the NCAA, Baylor University's reputation was soiled, resulting in one of the most significant scandals to ever plague an institution. Number 3. Duke University's biggest cheating scandal. Examination cheating led to the suspension of students from the Fuqua School of Business at Duke University in the year 2007. After administering a test that the students could take home with them, the instructor discovered that the students' responses were consistent, which prompted them to conduct additional research. When the submitted examinations and other assignments were examined, it was discovered that 34 students had engaged in cheating to varied degrees during the course of the semester. After some time, 9 students were kicked out of the highly competitive 2-year program, while 15 students were suspended for a period of 1 year. Because of rules protecting the privacy of students and teachers, the professor and students were never recognized. Number 2. Harvard University sexual assault scandal. The fact that Harvard University is a prestigious educational establishment means that any event that takes place in the vicinity of it is certain to attract the attention of a large number of people. Particularly noteworthy is the fact that John Komaroff, a professor of African and African American studies, was accused of sexual assault, a scenario that rapidly developed into a scandal of significant proportions. According to the allegations, the lecturer kissed and caressed students without first obtaining their permission. During other instances, he made sexual advances that were not warranted. In the event that the students had the audacity to air their grievances, he even threatened to thwart their efforts to develop their professions. Despite the fact that Komaroff was placed on administrative leave without pay while investigations were being conducted, the school was already plagued with allegations of sexual harassment. Based on the findings of the investigation, the professor was found to be innocent. On the other hand, 3 graduate students from Harvard, namely Lilia Kilburn, Margaret Cherowinski, and Amulya Mandava, have recently filed a lawsuit against the university, claiming that it has failed to take the claims that have been made against the lecturer seriously. The reputation of the school has been further damaged as a result of this. Number 1. Varsity Blues college admission scandal. In order for you or your child to enroll in one of the institutions that are part of the Ivy League, how far are you willing to go? In a recent investigation that was given the name Varsity Blues, it was discovered that certain parents were willing to spend more than $1 million in order to secure a spot for their children in the most prestigious educational institutions. During the course of the scandal, federal prosecutors brought more than 50 individuals to justice on a variety of counts. The scandal involved both low-key profiles and celebrities. Those parents who were unable to afford the high charges resorted to alternative, unethical techniques, such as claiming that their children had learning problems, having a stand-in take the examinations, or having proctors provide them with answers. Because of the magnitude of the fraud, athletic careers were manufactured, and coaches were encouraged to accept bribes. In addition to famous people, prominent business executives like Jane Buckingham, Manuel Henriquez, Devin Sloan, Robert Zangrillo, John Wilson, and Robert Flaxman were also found to be involved in the scandal. And there you have it, Creepshow fans, the top 10 college scandals that left the world in shock and disbelief. Which one did you find the most unbelievable? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the most unsettling and eerie stories from around the globe. Click the bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video and join our Creepshow community for more chilling content. Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and stay creeped out.